Hey everybody, Eric here. I'm reaching out to you today with an important message. I'd like to share an experience that I recently had. In early July, I went on a martial arts retreat to Greensboro, Vermont. This retreat was hosted by Rising Phoenix Martial Arts, based in Kyle, Texas, and John Olds. I want to give you the good, the bad, and overall what my experience was and things that definitely need to be addressed. As you can see, I am healing from a broken nose. I'm putting this out there today because, once again, I think that this retreat is a powder keg waiting to explode. For all you moms and dads out there, that are thinking about letting your 16, 17-year-olds go on this retreat when they're 18, I would ask you to question John on what he's done to address these safety measures. Someone could easily be killed. This nose could have been much, much worse. Head trauma, eye trauma, neck injury. I got lucky. The retreat itself started off fine. We had great food. Some of the activities were pretty creative and a lot of fun. Folks were nice. Day 2 is when things started to go south a bit. It was our first full day of training, or first day of sparring rather. And on this particular day, the premise was that we were going to do sparring, light contact to the head, full contact to the body. We're wearing our sparring gear. For context, I have grappling experience, but I have zero experience with forelimb striking. So, about 30 seconds into the sparring round between John Olds and I, he does a spinning hook kick, breaks my nose, and to equate that, that's kind of like, if I were to tell you, hey, let's go run a mile. Our goal is to jog. It's okay if we walk. And then I take off sprinting, right? It does not compute, doesn't add up. Nose is sitting sideways, your boy's in a daze, blood is gushing everywhere, and I get taken back to the cabin. John is apologetic. I'm handed an incomplete first aid kit that consists only of Band-Aids and aspirin, and aspirin is the last thing you want to take when you want to coagulate your blood because it's a blood thinner. I look at the mirror, nose is sitting on a slant, crack it back in place as best I can, get taken to the emergency room, which is about an hour away, and it takes about 5 or so hours to get the blood to really stop going, and it also takes a few days for the bleeding to stop. I did consider leaving the camp after this, but with my face swollen, I was afraid of the cabin air pressure for the flight that I would have to take, so I stuck around. Next few days pass, days are fine, participate where I can, eat well, and help out with photography and videos, things of that nature. And towards the end of the trip, we wake up at 6:30 in the morning. John wakes up and wants to do an impromptu fast and an impromptu hike. And mind you, this man has been hungover for half of the days, like actively vomiting during meditation sessions. I'm a big hiker. I'm thinking the hike is going to be a regular hike, but no, we're actually cutting through the wilderness, and going under felled logs, over logs, through tree branches, through marshy water. It starts pouring down rain, and it becomes really evident that John doesn't know where he is. He hadn't told anyone where we are. We don't have a wilderness first aid kit, and he has no GPS. So throughout the course of this, one of the hikers has fallen numerous times, their ankle's swollen, knees banged up, knee is swollen, and we finally convinced John, hey, we should probably try to find our way back onto a trail after going through this, you know, however long through this trek through the wilderness. And this is on a natural preserve, so it's wilded out. And anyways, things come to a head. I let John know. John tries to call someone, his wife and his brother, I believe, to come pick up the injured person. They don't answer. Once again, he hadn't told anyone where we are. And truck comes by, offers help. He waves them off. And then finally, you know, things come to a head. I let him know that he needs to have a higher sense of urgency of taking care of our injured hiker. We have an exchange. It's enough for him to go get her, bring her back up the mountain. And luckily a passerby offers us a ride. John suggests that our injured hiker go alone with her in the truck, on the back of the truck, to which I say, well, I'll go with her. And then this sort of shifts things around, and he wants to now all of us to go. Anyways, fast forward. Rest of the night, I'm furious because of the endangerment that we've been in. John is pouty all night, you know, doesn't eat dinner with us, is just visibly upset. The next morning, we have a feedback session. I share, you know, the good things, the bad things, really just the big his responsibility to us as his hikers to take care of us and to have a safety plan in place. He's really defensive about the whole thing, doesn't take accountability for anything, just deflects left and right, you know, saying that, you know, his family has been on this land for 80 years, that the impromptu hike was for me, which would take a guy with a broken nose through the wilderness, that doesn't make a lot of sense, and that, you know, I'm not as knowledgeable about nature as I think I am, and that I'm being disrespectful. So once again, no accountability, no nothing, no remorse, no sense of empathy whatsoever. And I say this in a frame to, you know, it's like I want the next camps to be safer and to have a sense of responsibility. I also found out on this retreat that in the first year someone nearly drowned. So there's just so many things that could go wrong here. I ask that if you're cool with me, we've ever known each other, you help me spread the word. Once again, that's Rising Phoenix Martial Arts in Kyle, Texas, and John Olds. I will put some information after this video, but thank you for your time today. The nose is healing. I'm getting better every day, so appreciate it.